Y'all already in here. What up? Wakey, wakey. What's good, people? Come in here and fellowship with the dribble. What's good? Got a lot of evil shit going on in the world, man. You got a father, the leader of an alleged drug gang, testifying on one of his shooter sons. That's ridiculous. Then you have this shooting at this school. 19 kids were killed and shit. We gotta be very, very, very aware of our surroundings. If there was ever a time to become introverted, this is it. It's these times right here. It's the most dangerous country in the world. Shit, we probably can claim that now. Shit is wild outside. Peace. CB, what's good, pimp? Rags to bags. Rodriguez. Yeah, notifications just going out, but I see y'all coming in. Queen's finest. I wouldn't have known that. You learn something new every day. I know I'm late to the news of the school shooting, but the mass shootings, man, they got to do something. They got to do something. They got to do something, man. I don't know what to fucking say. Man. This shit happen all too often. I will say this. When I seen that footage of that situation in Buffalo, the way that cat got out the car, he was filming or whatever, it was streaming, he got out the car and he put the hammer up and started shooting at the chick. It looked just like one of them video games and shit. It looked just like that Call of Duty shit or something like that. It looked just like a video game when he was exiting the car. I'm like, and these motherfuckers is rehearsing this shit. He said it only happens in one country on the planet, this one. I believe most countries, when a hammer go off, they have a reason. They might be fighting for some type of liberation or some shit like that. It's like motherfuckers shooting when they venting like it's like a tantrum. He said it damn sure did. Real life GTA. All these shootings coincidental. I don't know, man. I can't explain death. I know whenever shit happened, people had these little theories about why shit happened or whatever, but there's no explanation for this shit. I think that when people do this type of shit, I think that they should be bodied right on the spot. I don't think they should get a court date. When these people do this type of shit, this should be the law of the land. If you open fire and public and start killing innocent motherfuckers, you don't get a court date. You shouldn't get a court date. Marcus, what's up? Her boy was bullied because he was going through the gender transition. Fam, I've been telling my family, Call of Duty along with these movies have brainwashed these kids. Montez, what up? Yeah, I think it's going to have to be some changes involved with the video games and shit. When I was young, the video games, the big games weren't involving a gun. Like, it was gun games, Contra and different shit like that, but this shit is too real. M-Dub, what up? He said, and they family members. Yeah, they should put these guys down right on the spot. As soon as they walk up, body them. Don't ask no questions or nothing. You shouldn't get a court date. Why would you be able to go to trial and you just kill multiple motherfuckers for nothing? He said death is too easy. Punishments need to be more severe. Right. It starts at home. Parents got to be held accountable. Glad they didn't take him alive. Correct. He deserved to go. And they shouldn't linger. They shouldn't linger. They shouldn't be like Dylan Roof and these different dudes. These dudes shouldn't be sitting in court somewhere waiting a court date. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. They should get straight put down. They should get straight put down. When Timothy McVeigh did that shit to that building in Oklahoma City, they didn't waste no time putting his ass down. They put his ass the fuck down. Like Timothy McVeigh, he didn't stick around long after they convicted him and shit. Like when they got a hold of his ass, they dealt with his ass swiftly. Invest in trauma unit kits, chest seals, cellular tourniquets, etc. I don't think it has anything to do with video games, but parenting. We had violent cartoons as video games. We had Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat, man, motherfuckers was doing karate on Mortal Kombat. Wasn't nobody clapping motherfuckers on Mortal Kombat, man. Don't do that. They just tried to vilify Mortal Kombat. That was a damn cartoon. I won't surprise if we have a purge or race war the way things been going. I don't think that's gonna happen and shit. The court date should be, yeah, Mortal Kombat motherfuckers was getting smacked into oblivion and shit. He said duck hunting ain't the same as Call of Duty. These young people are being confused by nonsense. It's very obvious that there's some mental health issues involved with a lot of this shit. We just gotta be careful where we at and shit like that, man. I know people, right? I know people that don't like to eat out. Don't like to eat out. Like they just went overboard with their theories and their conspiracies. Like they don't trust motherfuckers cooking their food. They don't want to be in restaurants. None of that. Like they ain't gonna too much be nowhere where there's gonna be no. You might catch them sliding through a grocery store or some shit like that. People can even have their groceries delivered, but because of the way shit be going on, I know people that who have become totally introvert. Don't like you coming to their crib and shit. Ring lights everywhere. Shut your bitch ass up. Are you aware of the Hidden Colors documentaries by Tariq Nasheed? I heard about them. I even used to sell them at a point in time. I never watched them. They are making young people make choices they are not equipped to make. Philly, the conspiracy theories are radicalizing them. USA have gotten too violent. Guns are getting to be too freely. That was the first game that used legit real models. Hidden colors are full of misinformation. Gun laws are horrible in Texas. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get a notification. He said Tariq is a clown. Martial law is possible because of this. The drill rapper, somebody did just get indicted. Somebody did. I think D-Thang and them and shit. I think, yeah, it was D-Thang, and I think it was some Bronx people. Marshall, thank you. It ain't the guns, it's the individuals. These mass shooters all have similar mentality, personality profiles. That's what should be the focus. Thank you. It's dirty. I wore it to the gym. Old drink. Strap up, America. It's gonna get worse. As an American Indian and not African American who is dark brown skin and not black, not understanding why this is happening. If someone stabs you to death, do you blame the knife? No. Did you hear about another RICO they just handed out to a rapper? That was in the Bronx. I just told y'all the other day. It's going to be a trend. Everybody that got them acronyms next to their name, FBG and all these acronyms, all these little crews and shit like that, you getting on the internet doing your thing, you doing dirt in the streets, you going to jail. You going to jail. He said, yep, RPT just got indicted. I told y'all, anybody with an acronym, if you got an acronym next to your name, BGF, FBG, YSL, what's the YFN, this is some OBH. Anybody that got them acronyms, they done figured it out. Oh, this is the, oh, okay. OTF, we can go on and on and on. Yeah. He said 50 Cent said, I ain't no gang, I'm doing my own thing. He said, yeah, they gunning for them little drill rappers. Operation Cleanup. I believe they understanding that this drill culture, whatever, might have something to do with the crime rate. A lot of people, the profile of a profile of a person that's being arrested these days for these types of crimes, the age done dropped and shit like that. I went to shout out to Ghostface, shout out to the whole Wu. I went to Ghostface's birthday party. It was zero threat of violence there. It wasn't no young niggas there and shit. Like, I'm like, damn, I could do this more often and shit. Because I don't really go out and shit like that. But it was, people was walking up to me like, my kids watch your show and shit like that. It was zero threat of being harmed. But these new niggas, you go to their shows, you on your own. He said body armor and weapons are dangerous. They trying to fill prisons up. $10.90 Bori, what up? As long as they keep giving media attention to these terrorists, performing these mass shootings, this was not in. I agree with you. I was just about to say that. Copycat crimes and shit. They know that they can get immediate attention. They know that they can do some type of impact. I pray they lock them all up. The reason for this, they need more young people in the prison, so look who catching the charges. The niggas that catching the charges is the niggas that's breaking the law. The niggas that's firing these guns, these niggas that's got these switches on these guns to make these automatics turn to fully automatics and shit like that. You can just ear hustle and get knowledge of guns just by kind of like listening and shit to what's going on in society. My era, we wasn't even on that type of shit. Like, I'm serious. We had probably like one or two hammers for the whole crew and didn't even know who crib they was at. Nobody wanted them in their house or wanted to be handled them. Nobody wanted them around. We just wanted access to a hammer, but wasn't nobody carrying them off. You couldn't even get in our whip with no motherfucking hammer, man. You're not getting in here with that, man. Man, you got to go put that down, fam. Like, you can't get in here with that. That was rules. Niggas didn't even want you in their car with no fucking... Niggas don't got no license and shit like that. We get pulled over, man, like, we going to fucking jail. Everybody. Because of you. You know what I'm saying? So, he said every generation's gotten more dangerous. He said, I definitely saw that clip. They got 3D printers now. Regular consumers can make them. He said, right, and argue with who was gonna hold it. Yeah. Did nobody even want them joints around? Like, niggas got... We would have to go get the gun and shit like that, man. Couldn't have no hammer on you, man. You got all these goddamn bankrolls on you. Pocket full of rocks and shit like that, man. Ounce of weed to smoke. Like, the pistol is in the way, man. Go put this shit down, period. Remember, we had shotguns in the crib. He said, I remember the DC snipers killed all those people. Now look at these kids. Switches are like $300. He said, you left to go get the strap. Yeah, it might have been down the block or at somebody's house or in an alley or some shit like that. When nobody didn't want it around. Bad enough we was already talking about we not riding 4 deep. Yeah, that was totally out of the question. Riding 4 deep. Not happening. We was concerned about getting our money and surviving the undercover jump outs. Speaking of that, what happened to the jump out teams and shit? What happened to the paddy wagons? The ghetto bird and shit? I went through all of that shit. Look, what happened to them niggas? Them hop out boys and shit. Y'all remember that? Weed and Seed and all them programs? They ride through in the van door open, and they jump out. He said things just happen. He said the jump out boys been done. He said they jumping out on IG now. It's called Profiler now. The helicopter with the massive torch. The U-Haul. The legendary U-Haul. U-Haul just be riding down the street like it's just a regular car, vehicle just coming through. And then the door would fly open. Boom! And 30 motherfuckers. Everybody get out! He said they still around in Newark. More mass shootings since 2017. He said they chase you 30 blocks. Yeah, the jump out boys would hop out and chase you down. Chase you down. You would learn not to stop running. If you was getting chased, like that hiding and shit like that, hiding didn't really work. If you hid and got away, you got lucky. I hid and got away a couple times and shit, man. But that's bad for your nerves and shit. Hiding and shit, that's bad for your nerves, man, because you got to lay and be still while the motherfuckers is walking by and shit. Flashlights everywhere and you holding your breath. You scared the motherfucking death. Like, running is better. He said, I saw them right yesterday. Brand new camo with the limo tent. He said, Gully, you killing me. Cable trucks. They jump out the cable trucks. They jump out the gas trucks. I think in New York was the Con Edison and shit. He said in ATL we had the Red Dogs run every drug dealer out of Georgia. I was in the van. I was in the paddy wagon a couple times. You be in there with niggas that you beefing with because when they do a swoop, they be going like block to block, grabbing niggas. So you might be in the paddy wagon about an hour or two, hour and a half before you even get dropped off, before they even go back. Like you in the paddy wagon while they about to do something to some other niggas. You want to scream and tell them niggas, run! Next thing you know, that door fly open to some more niggas. Some more niggas, man. You be like, damn, man, niggas be looking all defeated. You got beef with niggas. You see him in there. He just look at you and just shake his head. You shake your head. Y'all both beat. Shh. He said, y'all be friends for a moment, too. He said they were packing vans laying down in the back. He said you might. I've been handcuffed. I was handcuffed to a guy from another neighborhood I ain't really fuck with. We was cool though. They put us in the same cell and everything, man. We was so tired, man. You be going through all that processing and shit. Just went in there and went to fuck the bed, and shit. They made a movie about our GTF boys. They were crooks. That's probably what happened to those organizations. Everybody, they got beside themselves. They turned into criminals and start, taking niggas packs and shit like that. Taking niggas packs, doing all type of that Michael Dow shit. Minneapolis, that Troy Reed book is mean. Yeah, facts. He said, yeah, once we get behind that wall, man, we could beef on the streets in here, man. That shit dead. Just dead it, period. He said you can hear the radio going off so you know they nearby, right damn near next to you. He said, I've been through that. Brothers in bondage. I got in some juvenile trouble and ended up in that jump out van shit and got handcuffed to a nigga. Me and this nigga went through the whole system together. I'm talking about as adults and everything. We went like every jail I would show up at or every institution I was at, he would come not long after or vice versa, like until like he's still doing time and shit. He's still doing time. Like he ain't get it. But we continued to every jail I was at, he was there. Jump Out Boys in Monmouth County, Middlesex, Bergen County was wild. They don't do that shit no more. So that's why these niggas comfortable running around with all these goddamn pistols. We knew the motherfucking Jump Out Boys' names. We knew their names. We knew them by name. Knew them by name. They knew us by name. You know what I'm saying? And you even knew what shift them niggas was on and shit. You know what I'm saying? You knew what shift when them niggas was driving and shit. You knew get low. Go home. Was there any black children at the mass shooting in Texas? It don't even matter the nationality or origin of the children and shit. They was children, so he said, facts, we knew the names. He said, my uncle's the head of Monmouth County. We knew their whole schedule. They knew everybody, even talked to your mom on the block. I'm always looking around when I'm out and about. I keep something on me. I don't trust nobody. I gotta respect it. He ran up in the house I was in once. Rest in peace to those kids. He said, no, all Spanish. Them black babies. He said in Chicago, they jump out putting their hands in your pockets and all types of shit. I read Troy Reed's book last night in one take. Dope read. I gotta cop yours, man. Get mine. Mine's cracked too. Real G's know the Jump Out Boys come Tuesdays and Thursdays in Philly. I think that was everywhere. That sound about right. Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yeah. They on foot and horseback in the hood now. They also got rid of stop and frisk. Do y'all think stop and frisk was violating people's civil rights? But do y'all think it's necessary now? Task Force Tuesday. He said you could tell the boys by the sound of their cars. You knew the brakes, tires, engine sound, all that shit. That's all facts. That's all facts. You could spot them niggas. You knew they lights. You knew they lights. The Mercuries and shit. You knew they fucking lights, man. You could see them niggas. Here they come. Block just get empty. He said TNT was wild. The shooter killed his grandmother right before he went to the school. Newark, New Jersey still got TNT. Court date to sentence him to death. Next week, execution. Exactly. He shouldn't get no court date. They should be taking him to take care of him. He said you couldn't get away from Running Man. He would get you. You would learn shit by getting chased down by the police. You would learn that these motherfuckers is training for this shit. We smoking blunts all day. These motherfuckers is really training to chase you down when they chasing you and shit. Just don't be in the streets with nothing to do. What is the defense? There is no defense. I believe that it was written. I believe most people probably would concur. Just be aware, man. Just be watching your surroundings, man. Like, you learn that in jail, man. When you walking around, when you moving around, when you enter a room, man, you look at everybody in their face in a split second without them even knowing you just checked them out, man. You got to scan the room and shit, man. You got to be able to find malicious motherfuckers, people that don't look right and shit like that. Like, you got to use those senses in this day and age, for real. He said, worse is losing a sneaker, but you got to keep running. Task Force Tuesday, the Narcs is in a black car. I just got 500 packs in the backyard, Jadakiss. He said, word, these young kids don't have the senses as we did 20 years ago. When I heard a squeak, I knew it was for a police car. That's correct. They took my shoes off and searched them. We had what we called in the late 80s in New Haven, Connecticut. They had the Beat Down Squad and a cop called Track Star. He said the Angels. I seen the Hell's Angels this weekend and shit. They had the fucking coming through the Easy Pass. They went through the Easy Pass. They kind of like surrounded us and shit. It was so many of them and shit. They was deep as fuck. I filmed them a little bit. I was fumbling for my camera because I couldn't believe it was really them. I'm like, oh shit, this is the fucking real fucking Hell's Angels. This is a true story. I still got some of the footage. They looked at radical too. They looked at like you could feel them. You could feel them. Pagans and Hell's Angels are big in Jersey. That's what they said on the back of their jackets. Hell's Angels, New Jersey. He said how many? It was probably like 50 of them. I'm serious. They made a big scene coming through the Easy Pass shit. Loud as fuck. You had some that had the patch. The ones in the front had the patch. And then at the back, it was like the dudes that's just getting down and shit. He said they big in Canada. Peace. He said they don't give a fuck. You could tell. You felt. I was aware of them. I felt danger. Like they'd tear some shit up. Like, oh shit, the Hell's Angels. That's why I couldn't get my phone dribble together. I'm like, damn, I wonder, is it safe to film these motherfuckers? He said, they come heavy. He said, Woodbridge, New Jersey, and they slinging. He said, the pagans wild as hell, too. They got a spot on Clinton Ave in Newark, New Jersey. He said, they blow through all the red lights. That's how they came through the Easy Pass, man. It felt like I was surrounded, but this shit was crazy. It was loud as fuck. Back in the day, we didn't have this internet shit. That's why 80s babies just might be the golden generation. He said crowbars. Oh, no. Hell's Angels kill shit. That's well known. That's well known. That's well known. You ain't watched, they had their own Gangland episodes and everything. He said they are the real 1%. He said they pay 100K bonds. Please teach your kids how to speak up for someone else being bullied in school. I remember nobody of 20 students in the locker room stood up for a kid being bullied. I finally told discipline. We used to rip and shit like that, but we didn't bully motherfuckers, man. It was bullies or niggas that was like bully type niggas that come around, but we shunned them. I believe that made them angry and made them try to, wanted to dislike us or target us more because we didn't fuck with them and shit like that. I think that enrages a bully. He said Mudman Simon was a beast. He the one that got the Pennsylvania prison system fucked up. He said they would take your head off. He said they have brawlers, shooters, and crowbars. Hell's Angels caught a body in Connecticut. Man, I know they not nothing to fuck with. I'm telling you, they came through the Easy Pass, man, like real outlaws. He said the bully was never fly. Never. We got roasted on the bus on the way to school. It made you laugh. Yeah. We never made nobody cry, but if we made them cry, we stopped or some shit like that. Like, we knew who couldn't rip back. Like, ripping was a part of being... You had to know how to rip to be around. If you came around with some funny clothes on or you looked funny, your haircut wasn't right, or you gonna get ripped on, man. But that was just part of being around and shit. He said, they in Minnesota, too. He said, facts, we look down on bullies. Nah, we didn't fuck with the bullies. He said the bully was never fly. Nah, I think that was their problem, man. Them niggas was having problems at home. Them bully niggas, them niggas that was like bullies, they had problems at home. They mom and pops was getting high. They wasn't eating right and shit like that. So they would come out into the community angry and enraged and shit. Like, and people couldn't understand why this motherfucker's always hurting people or committing trouble and shit. It's because he's hurt. He's fucking wounded and shit. Mentally traumatized and shit like that. But, nah, we didn't fuck with no bullies. He said bullies is always dusty. Never get no new sneaks. Bully niggas come to school with the same sneaks they had on in the summertime. Niggas come to school the first day of school with the same kicks they was wearing to the pool the whole summer. That ain't funny, but that's what gives birth poverty. Poverty breeds desperation and angry motherfucking kids. Hurt people hurt people. Bully mama was a smoker. Right. Bullies needed a haircut. Right. Gully, are you ready for a race war? I ain't got no beef with nobody. No other races or nothing like that. I don't. He said all of the bully type dudes I grew up with are either dead or locked up. That's what happened to most of them. All the radical niggas that was in my generation, they dead and shit. Anyway, subscribe to the channel. He said old sneaks with new shoelaces. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get the notifications. Remember what I said to y'all, man. When y'all moving around, be cool, man, and pay attention to your surroundings and shit. When you see, if you see people becoming agitated and shit like that, that's a potential shooting and shit. Like, don't pull out your cell phone, man. When you see people arguing and shit like that, don't pull out your cell phone and try to record this shit. Just start getting the fuck out the way. Roasting is a part of growing up. Another way of toughening up a young man. He said, I knew a bully mom who was thick as hell. He stayed fighting because all she wore was biker shorts. The shorts is on the website, www.therealdribble.com. He said, not ready but alert. The U.S. is dangerous, like you said. Should the KKK get the RICO Act? If you give the KKK the RICO, what you gonna do? You gonna charge the KKK in all 50 states? You gonna sweep them and get them up from all 50? They every fucking where. You can't just book the ones. I mean, there's probably some KKK tied to some specific crimes and shit, bombings, church bombings and shit like that. But how you gonna do that? My man said, I'm ready to defend myself. Looking forward to a shootout, huh? Do you think America is failing? I'll tell you this much, right? I didn't know this until I went to Europe. We are programmed and very arrogant in our belief that we are the #1 country in the world and shit like that, and we so much more advanced than everybody, but that's not the truth. When you go overseas, you see technology that ain't made it over here yet. It's not made it here yet, man. You see advances that other countries are capturing, their train system, their infrastructure. Like, this shit over here is bad off. Like, you don't smell piss in these subways and like everything is clean. Like, we are the scum. The United States scum of America. Straight up. That rhymes. United scum of America. Ain't that a bitch? You feel me? And on top of that, you have the other country's perception of us. I got friends from other countries, black men, and they like, yo, why do they be killing y'all like that? He talking about the police shootings and shit like that. Overseas, they police don't even got weapons. They got fucking batons and shit. And they don't understand it's just a fucking cesspool of murder.